Hello and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video by me, FoxyNoTail, here on the Super Chunk Block Survival server. And as you can see, the sky is gone red. What's going on? I have basically an unlit blocks texture pack on, which shows me in red whenever there's a block that hasn't got enough light on it. And the reason I'm using this texture pack is because I've been over here getting lots of flowers, and spiders just keep coming from nowhere. I can't find where they're coming from, but I have just noticed there's a block over there that needs lighting. And I've got an inventory full of bone meal because I've been topping this system up, trying to get it running again. We've got loads of flowers in all of these chests, and I need to get it running a little bit longer. We've also got Big Chicken, who's AFK up there at the moment, and he has now gone invisible, and he's flying due to my spectator pack add-on, which I've just added to the server as well. So yeah, let's grab some torches, and I could probably do with a slab or two. Let's see if I can find some slabs. Yeah, there we go, a bunch of slabs in my little shulker box there. I'm going to hop up here, and I'm going to put a slab on there, and I'm also going to put a torch on the side there, just to brighten that up, get rid of those unlit bits. You can see that wall over there has got unlit bits on it as well. I don't think that matters. I don't think things can spawn there, but it might be a good idea just to come round and just drop a few torches on those. You can see the rest of the area is fully covered. The other torches are doing a good job, but yeah, we're still getting spider spawning. Now, it's not impossible due to the bugs in the game that light's not traveling over chunk borders, but I've got so many torches here, I don't think that would really make much difference. And there we go, that's that entire area done. The only place I can see red bits down here now are next to those hoppers there, so let's put one there. Actually, that side's okay. There's none underneath the farm. What about on the minecart track bit? And what's happened with that hopper there? What's happened there? You need to be on your way, sir. You need to be on your way down there, mate. Go on, off you go. How have you managed to get stuck? There we go. Ah, there are a few red blocks under there, look, which means that spiders will technically be able to spawn in that area there. So, in that case then, we need to spam some more torches underneath this thing and see if we can get rid of those, because they will shine through the blocks. There's one there, look. Any more? Yeah, one right over there. I can't quite reach it. See if that'll clear it. I think that's close enough. What about over there? There's one over there, I think. And I can see on the slabs below, there's a relatively dark patch here as well. So I think that's got that bit covered. What about on top of this then? There is a spot there with that hopper, but I don't think anything can spawn inside a hopper. So that should technically be okay. I mean, now that we've got this system's not actually using these rows, we could put more torches and stuff here, but it seems so daft considering the sea lantern's literally like right there. And I'm surprised that sea lantern can't actually transfer light to that bit there. It's probably a chunk border glitch, to be fair. But yeah, I think for the below part of here, I think that's definitely it. Let's fly up and have a look around the top part of this. So if we fly up here, we can see this entire mob spawner, although it is nighttime, so it's obviously going to be, is completely spawnable, which is very, very good news. Now I want to see... Does Mr. Running do AFK? That's from Lost League. I want to see if, when it's daytime, if that's still the same. So let's have a sleep in our bed, and let's go have a fly around during the day. Right, let's fly up, and let's check this thing out now. So now, yeah, there's... Ah, okay, this pack doesn't use daylight. It's only player-based light. So technically, this entire thing's spawnable in terms of my own light, but obviously it's not going to show me the difference the sunlight makes. But it's working a treat. You can see all the mobs down at the bottom there. Got some weird stuff going on with how the pack's rendering the light down there. But otherwise, that's working very well. Now, you can see we got one spawner there. That is a witch spawner. I think I've got a few more wither skulls. So let's see if we can make another spawner. As part of a live stream, I went off and I got a load more wither skeleton skulls. So now potentially we can make yet another spawner to add to this system, which I think is going to be a good thing to do today. But before we do that, I want to get this flower farm running and get as many flowers as possible, which means I'm going to need some empty shulker boxes to take them over to our bit fiddler and get loads and loads of new blocks. Now, if you didn't catch this farm in my last video, it works absolutely great. The problem is the flowers do actually grow faster than the hopper minecarts can pick them up, but I did get a few comments from people telling me how I could make it even more efficient by basically growing the flowers a block down from the grass level. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to bother doing that because that would be quite a big redesign of this entire thing. And as you can see, it's spitting out flowers left, right and center. And like I say, it spits out more than we can actually pick up. So maybe it's not the most efficient use of bone meal, but I got a ridiculous amount of bones coming through from this thing now. I really don't need to worry about that. And I've also got the generosity of my server mates who did gift me loads and loads of bone blocks. Now, one issue I do have is that the on and off switch is over here, which is a little bit of a pain to get to considering the stairs and everything are over here. So while this is running, I'm going to look at getting the on and off button moved over to this side. I think that would be a smart thing to do. And I'm also going to turn off this pack. So at the minute, the way the clock on this farm works is that there are 4 hoppers and then 1 item goes round and round those hoppers, and we just use a lever to lock those hoppers to stop it from going round. So all I need to do is be able to run a redstone signal into one of those blocks down there, and that will lock those hoppers. Now I've taken the item out now just to stop it while we're working on it, but effectively what I need to do from that is then just run a redstone signal all the way around to the other side of this thing and a switch. But I'm not just gonna do that. Oh no. Because this thing keeps backing up, what I really need to do is add some sort of timer into it so it'll only run for a few seconds, make a load of flowers, and then allow the hopper minecarts to come pick it up again, and then run again. So I've got some complicated clockwork to do, which I haven't actually figured out yet, but I'm quite excited about the challenge. And there we go, the system couldn't be simpler right now. All we've got is a lever that links round this redstone dust line here, goes through a couple of repeaters, mainly to stop the redstone dust from combining with the other stuff, and it goes into that block there, which locks the hoppers. And as you can see, through the hole in the hoppers, the farm's running now that we flick the lever. Yes, I know that's not the timing system that I just mentioned. I'm going to work on that now, but I guess, yeah, I probably ought to go into a creative world so I can actually figure that out. And it just so happens that in my creative world I have a bunch of clocks that I've already sort of put together a long time ago, and this could be useful. This is the Etho hopper clock. Basically, you put a certain number of items in there and the system will slide from one side to the other, meaning you can have 2 redstone outputs from it, and the more items you put in, the longer the delay becomes. The issue with that one is that it's going to be off for as long as it's on, but without Flower Farm I need it to be off longer than it's on. I need it to be on for like 10 seconds, then off for like a minute, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe a bunch of these together. So we could use something a little bit like this, which is basically an Etho hopper clock looking into an observer, which is running into a decay clock. So every time that redstone block moves, it sends a short pulse through that repeater, which then decays for a certain amount of time. As you can see, the redstone is getting duller and duller until it turns off, which is completely unique in terms of timing to that other one. So we could put an absolute ton of blocks in there, have that run maybe flick on every 5 minutes or so, and then this will run for however long that we've got this for. And if we want this longer, we just need to add more comparators. And the reason we need these two here in the middle with this gap is to actually create a long enough pulse for it to decay. Otherwise, we get kind of a disco. Let's see what happens now that I've taken that redstone dust out. Yeah, we get a bit of a disco, which we don't really want. So by removing those, that creates the first decay clock, which gives this decay clock enough of a pulse to actually stay on permanently. Now, in order to get this thing started, I'm going to need a whole bunch of redstone because I've only got a few pieces left, which I don't think is going to be enough. And I've organised all of these chests, but I run out of item frames. I've got no leather in order to find what I'm looking for. But yeah, I'm looking for redstone. Oh, it's going to be tight on the redstone, but I think we can just about manage. Yeah, look at all of this stuff. And it's not automated, this. I've still got to open or empty all of these chests. So there we go. Look, another bunch of redstone there and another bunch of redstone there. So I think we're all good for redstone. But what we need over here is a better sorting system by far. But not right now. Right now, we're getting on with this system. Oh, and it appears that Wilfred has turned up while I was doing that. Hello, Wilfred. How you doing? What have you got for sale?
I can't.
Got several of those.
The squid.
But not right now, Wilf. I don't need anything from you right now. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry. So I'm going to start with the Etho hopper clock just underneath the side of that there. And we're going to need to make that off and onable. So I'm going to pinch my lever from there. Although that is potentially going to activate the farm. And I'm going to put that on there. So that's going to be our on and off spot. Now, yeah, that has started the farm. So I'm going to put my lever back on there until we're ready to actually do that, I guess. So yeah, our lever's going to go on there. That's going to activate this thing, and out the back of this, we're going to have an observer looking into that bit of redstone dust there. So as that fires across, that redstone dust is going to get activated. This thing's going to see it. Now, hopefully it won't keep firing as the redstone dust increases. We need to check that out, actually. So let's put a few items in there. And let's just check it is only going to fire when that thing moves across. Oh, it's not. Look, every time the redstone dust increases. Right, okay, so we can't have the observer there. In that case, we will have the observer coming out to the side like we did in our test world. And we'll have it just looking into that redstone block there like that. That's absolutely fine. Just means this thing's going to be a little bit wider. And then we'll come out this way with our other bits. So I guess if we have that going into a solid block like that, we can have a repeater coming out of the back of it there just to give it a bit of oomph. And we're going to put that on a long delay as well so that our first decay clock has enough power. And we're going to put that there. So if I pop a couple of comparators there, like that one facing that way and the one facing the other way, I've now got a decay clock. So whenever that moves across, you'll see that decay clock will activate. There we go. And that will slowly decay. Now, a 2 comparator decay clock is very slow, so we're going to need more. So let's bring this over here this way like that. Let's add a couple more bits of redstone there and a few more comparators over here. So all of these need to go in straight lines. So we'll have one there, one there, one there. And then one there, one there, one there. I've no idea if this is going to be enough, but we're going to bring... In fact, I'll tell you what, we're going to add a couple more just to make sure that we've got plenty. We'll have those there like that. We'll put those blocks there and we'll add those bits of redstone there. And now all we got to do is link that into our hopper. So it's going to turn our hoppers on and off every time that fires. So all I got to do now is link the redstone up from here to our hoppers up there, which shouldn't be too difficult at all. We'll just make a little bit of a staircase like this. We'll bring that line across there like that until it meets up where our old one was here. And if we link that in there like that, then every time this is active, that's actually going to stop our system. We actually need it to be the other way around. So we want to invert the signal, and we can do that relatively easily as well. So let's get rid of this staircase here. Let's put a block there like that. We're going to put some redstone dust on the top of it. And on the other side of it, we're going to have a redstone torch like that. In front of that redstone torch there, we're going to have another block with some redstone on it, and then we can staircase from this point here. Just like that. So now the system's inverted, so it should only run when that decay clock fires. And there we go, it's doing it. Now it's not very long, that decay clock. That didn't last very long at all. But it might be just enough what we need. Now we can tweak the timings of the items in here so that there's enough time for the hopper minecarts to collect, and then enough time for the system actually running. So I guess it's time we keep our eye on it. It looks like everything's getting collected at the minute, and then the system fires, does a couple of grows, and then the hopper minecarts look like they've got just enough time to go back and collect again. Yeah, they're not fully filling up. I think maybe we want a little bit more time in here. So I'm going to chuck another half a stack of sandstone slabs in there. That'll give it a bit longer. Let's watch this a little bit more. If I haven't already explained, the reason for doing this is so I can make this fully automatic, so I don't have to keep turning it on and off and waiting for all of the flowers to get picked up. And it is looking like we're not getting a build-up, so we can potentially increase the speed of this thing a little bit. Let's keep our eyes on these hopper minecarts coming through and make sure they're not backing up. So yeah, they're hardly getting anything at all, which means that that thing's not getting overly filled up. Let's empty everything out, and let's just make sure the entire system can keep up, because it's these hoppers at the bottom here that cause the most of the bottleneck, and it's probably not going to help that the chest's pretty much full. So with the size of the decay clock would have got at the moment, we're certainly not getting anything backing up at all, which is really good, but it is kind of going a bit slow. So by the time the hopper minecart comes back here again, those are going to have pretty much all gone, and is it going to have brought back a great deal more? Let's find out. It's coming back now, there it is, and it's dropping off everything again into this second hopper minecart, and it's going again. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit slow, I think, doing it that way. That minecart hopper's definitely empty, and that one's empty now. So let's take a little bit more out of here. In fact, I'm tempted to actually increase this delay clock a little bit, because it really doesn't fire on for very long, and it wouldn't be particularly difficult to do to add a little bit more delay onto this. Now I've just flicked back to my creative world and I noticed that I only actually had 4 comparators on this side, and the decay clock acted a lot longer, or lasted a lot longer than it is doing now. So I'm going to try and replicate that here and see if that actually makes a difference. I mean, theoretically it shouldn't, but it seemed a lot more stable. So let's try that and see if that improves things when it kicks in. And I've just noticed there's a few more dark spots because I've been moving blocks around, so I need to spam some more torches around here and get rid of this crafting table. No, the issue is because I'm an idiot and I've got the repeater in the wrong place. The repeater needs to be right behind the comparators in order to give them enough strength in order to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring that bit... Oh, I didn't want that there. I'm going to bring that slab to there. I'm going to bring this redstone here and I'm going to put the repeater just there. And then I'm going to put our first decay clock there like that. Get rid of those. Don't need any of that. It's a bit higgledy-piggledy now, actually. I might bring it over a little bit so we can fit more in. But that now, if we put that on 4 ticks, should do the job. There we go. Getting a much better decay clock there now. And we got the thing firing 3 times instead of 2 times, which is still not enough, I don't think. So let's bring this over a couple of blocks so we can squeeze more in. So I'm going to put the repeater back there again behind that block, and I'm going to bring this out this way, and I'm going to just put the comparators there like that, so they're a lot further back. The next bit of redstone can go there like that, and potentially at this point we can worm our way back across, although we're going to waste redstone doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that torch, and I'm going to put 4 comparators that way and 4 comparators that way, like so, and then we can get rid of that torch. And I run out of slabs, and then we can link that entire thing up like that, add in the last few bits of redstone, and now that should last a lot longer when it fires. Let's find out. Last time we got 3 piston pushes of the grass or the dirt. Let's find out how long it lasts this time. And off it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4. So it wasn't loads longer, but that should be a lot more flour. So now we need to go and empty the system and make sure it's not going to be able to back up again. Okay, so we're not really backing up at this moment in time. These things are pretty much clearing their way through, so I've gone and taken a few more blocks out of these hoppers in order to, well, I've taken 23 out, and that should allow the flower farm to activate more regularly, which should put some more pressure on these hopper minecarts. Now let's see what sort of a difference that's made. It looked like that was pretty much clear on the way out. This one is just about running out, and it is on its way back. So yeah, that's filling up. Now I've got to keep my eye on it, make sure the whole thing doesn't back up. That's got quite a few bits in there. Let's keep our eye on it. And that one's completely run out perfectly as that one got back. And pretty much the same for that other one as well. This is got 20 left. It's on its way back. They had a few left in it by the time it got back there, but I think on average, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that's going. The only thing we are going to struggle with now is keeping it topped up with bone meal, because it does use quite a lot of bone meal, this thing. So I suppose the simplest solution to our bone meal issue is just to add another double chest there that will filter through, so that's a nice easy fix. The other thing I said I wanted to do with this was to stop this hopper minecart coming back until it had completely emptied itself out. At the moment it does one loop and it goes straight back again, so it's not giving us particularly ideal distribution at the moment because it keeps clearing off again. And will you stop so I can look in you? There you go, look, it's absolutely full and it keeps going back to get more, which means it's wasting time. It's wasting time. So what I need up here is a system detect how much bone meal is in there, and if it's empty, then switch this track here and let it go back again. Otherwise, switch that track and make it stay, which is going to be easier said than done. So back in our creative test world, this system is pretty much what we've got on the super chunk block world, and what I need this to do is for that corner basically to be flipped like that when the minecart is in. So I need to activate that. The problem is though, on the super chunk block world, we've also got a line of redstone coming round the outside like this, which is activating the dispensers. So we really don't have a massive area to work with, although we can potentially go up above it. If we was to put a redstone block above that, it will change. So we can potentially use a sticky piston with a redstone block on to change that. But where are we going to actually do the detection to detect the minecart? Now, if we put a detector rail at that point there, when a minecart's on it, that's going to change anyway. So it's probably not going to work very well. And I don't think we can lock detector rails. But no, that's just going to keep it going round. So having a detector rail right next to that corner is going to be no good for us. So let's get rid of the minecart. So what about if we had our detector rail over at this bit there? Now, that is activating our redstone. So we'll have to jigger our redstone about a little bit. But that potentially is going to be in a good position for us to be able to detect this thing coming through. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of all of this redstone. And let's try and mock this thing up without that redstone in the way first and see if we can actually make this thing work. Okay, so putting some items into the hopper minecart. We've got our detector rail there. We've got a comparator next to it, which will read that there are items in there. And that should fire this, which should activate that corner there. Whether the delay is right or not, I don't know. And there we go, look. That was pretty much perfect. Maybe we could actually get away with a few less ticks on this repeater here. No, we can't. Let's send that back off again. Let's put 3 ticks on there and see if that's any better. 3 ticks works. What about 2 ticks? No, 2 ticks is no good. So we'll leave it on 4 ticks. That works absolutely fine. But we do have to worry about the redstone that's running around here for our dispensers and stuff like that. So we need to think about how we're going to get around this vertically. Now, what we could do is power these powered rails from above with redstone blocks above them and then have our comparator on the inside of this track, which could potentially work. We do still need to think about that one there. What we can do there is probably just use a repeater or a block to transfer the redstone through there. But what we can't do with this is we can't get the redstone over to that corner very easily. But maybe we can with some pistons. Now, that's a relatively quick and dirty way of doing it. I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a go. We'll send the hopper minecart round. It will get detected. That piston should get pulled down. It's too slow. Let's just reduce the timings on that repeater. Up there, let's try that again. And it's still too slow. Let's take that repeater out altogether. What about now? Is it going to do it? It did do it. Now, it didn't stay down for very long, but it activated, and that's just enough for it to stay going round. Doing it like this is a lot more compact. It's a little bit messy, but it's more compact. This should technically work again. Let's find out. It did, but it was too quick. Let's try it again with a few less ticks on that repeater. There we go. That worked okay. I don't know how stable that would be on the lagging variable, but it really doesn't matter if the hopper minecart goes back by mistake. It's absolutely fine. It's not critical. The only downside to this is the redstone signal going up there is going to require quite a few items to be in the hopper minecart. So let's figure out how many exactly it's going to need in there to get through. So let's put in 6. That's not enough to fire that repeater. 64. 64 is. 32 is. 16 isn't. So doing it this way, the hopper minecart's going to come back when it's not fully empty. But to be honest with you, I don't think that's a big issue. It will come back if it's got 24 items left in it. I really don't think that's a big issue, considering how compact and easy this is going to be to actually build. So let's go back on the world and let's see if we can build this thing. And coming back to the world, having left it running with Big Chicken AFK, I can see there's a lot of flowers getting left behind. This thing has managed to back up, but that's not because it's gone too slow. It's because there's way too many flowers in it. So I definitely need to turn this off for the time being, and we need to empty out some of these flowers. Oh man, quick, get everything back away again. Oopsie. Yeah, we need bigger storage systems on all of these things, because this is all backed up as well. This is full, this is overflowing again. Oh jeez, I need more storage. Well, now that that crisis is averted and these hopper minecarts can go back to doing their job and picking up all of these flowers that have been sat there despawning, we can finally get working on this thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the redstone blocks like we had them before on the other world. So one there as well. And get rid of those redstone torches now. But we didn't use those on here. We actually just moved that redstone torch to the outside there, which is absolutely fine. Then we want our detector rail over here and a repeater next to that one. There we go. It's working. The hopper minecart is going to go round and round and round this little bit until it's fully empty. So let's check. Let's keep around that hopper minecart. We can see it is slowly dropping all of that bone meal into the hoppers, which means those dispensers are going to get fed more regularly and much more quickly, which means this farm isn't going to slow down as they start to run out of bone meal. Overall, it's going to be a lot more efficient, which is absolutely fantastic. So there we go. A much better system overall today. We have our hopper minecart system up here. We have our amazing clock system down here, which we can start activating again now that we've cleared the chest out. And we have our unloading system to actually get the stuff in. I'm really impressed with this farm. I'm really impressed with all of the ingenuity that's gone into it just to create a bunch of flowers. The only thing that we're lacking now is a storage system. It's all going into one chest, and this thing's the same, which means what we're going to have to do is start digging down into... Oh, look at all this XP, though. Yeah, we're going to have to start digging down into the floor. There's even more XP in there. Gimme. To lower this stuff down so we can get more chests in. Either that, or we could come out to water elevators, I guess, and start raising everything up and then go to chests higher up. That might not be a bad way of doing it, actually. And in the time it's taken me to fill up these 4 shulker boxes with flowers and organize these chests, this system is fully full again. So I need to turn it off. We need to stop running it. It's ridiculous. This flower system's ridiculous. We definitely need a new storage system in here, but I just don't have the means to make one. I don't have enough redstone components and stuff like that. What I do have, though, is absolutely tons of flowers, and I've got tons and tons of blocks. I've got rotten flesh. I've got arrows. I've got bones. I've got an enderman attacking me. Clear off. What are you doing here? I don't have enough armor to fight enderman. Okay, that was weird. Knock me bone off, mate. Redstone, not much redstone. Got string, spider eyes. We've got loads of gunpowder, and we've got absolutely tons and tons of ink sacs. And over here, we've got blocks, we've got items, we've got gravel, we've got gold and iron. We've got loads more bits and stuff here. So what I'm going to do now is collect up all of my dye and go and trade it all in. Oh, this is going to be ridiculous. And coming home, it seems my honey has vanished, but I seem to have some presents for your honey. Buckets of tea. Oh, I see. Tea to have with honey, and we've got some glass there as well, which is fantastic. And for your nightmares. Oh, no. I don't want any more tridents. I've got loads of tridents, but thank you. Thank you very much, whoever that was from. See, those are the sorts of gifts I like, rather than big mounds of honey in the middle of my house. What we got in here today? Oh, we got some more things, some paper, toilet paper, and we got some walls as well. Well, I think it's about time we gave back to the community in the form of many blocks. So let's get everything converted into bits. Let's get it traded with our bit fiddler. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is spending the majority of it on concrete powders, because they're going to be useful building blocks for people. I'm also going to buy an absolute ton of cobblestone so that we can do lots of trading with Wilf as well. Well, I've come back over here to get even more bits, and I've decided I'm going to have to put a roof over our flower farm because there was an enderman here nicking all of our grass again. This is the second time that's happened. Enderman coming and nicking our grass blocks, which is causing problems. So I got rid of him, which is why I'm a little bit low on health. But yeah, I'm just going to have to like cover this entire thing up, which I really don't want to do because I need access. In fact, I might put the roof... It needs... Yeah, I might make it a little bit higher. The other thing I want to do is I want to replace all of these flowers with white ones, the ones that give white dye, and I believe the only flower that does that is the lily of the... I can't get out. The lily of the valley, is it, that does that? That gives you white... Why can't I not get out there? There we go. Yeah, and I don't have any lilies of the valley, so what we need to do is use a little bit of bone meal on that grass and see if we can actually get some to grow. Now, I'm not sure if this is the right biome to grow lily of the valleys, but it's probably worth a try. No, it looks like we're only going to get yellow and potentially red ones. We are in an ocean biome, so that's probably why. So I might go over to the storage area, the community one, and see if there are any lily of the valleys kicking about over there. Whilst doing many trading with the bit fiddler to get 107 levels so far, I bumped into Lofty. I messaged her and said, does anyone have any lilies of the valleys? And she was kind enough to go and find them for me from the community storage area, which is absolutely fantastic because that means we can now make just white dye with this thing. Let me just double check that. You get white bits from the lily as the valley. So if we replace that flower there, and that flower there, and that flower there, and that flower. There we are only going to get white flowers from this farm now, which will give us absolutely tons and tons of white dye, which is very good for getting white concrete and other sorts of things like that. So this thing should... Oh, I thought it was empty. I haven't emptied it out yet. So let's get as many of those flowers out of there as possible. Let's get it running again, which means pressing this lever over here. And while I'm in the area, I am going to start emptying this thing out even more. And after almost no time at all, we've already got a shulker box worth of these Lily of the Valleys in here. All I've been doing is trading with the bit fiddler, getting rid of all of my all of my dyes and all of my blocks and stuff, and we've already got a full shulker box worth of this, which is absolutely fantastic. So all of these boxes are empty now. My dye box over this side is also empty. Well, it's not fully empty, but it's nearly empty. We've still got these blocks and stuff in here, which I'm not going to be doing anything with just yet. But now what I can do is concentrate on actually trading in some of these ink sacks as well, because these are all dye as well. So let's fill up these shulker boxes full of ink sacks. So I finally finished doing all of my trading. As you can see, I'm now rocking 122 levels from that. And I've got these boxes full of junk left. But in these ones is all the treasure. So we've got nearly a double chest and a half's worth of cobblestone, which I'm going to give all of that to community. I've got nothing in there, nothing in there. I've got a full chest full of blue, light grey, yellow and light blue concrete powder. I'm going to give all of that to the community. And I've got this black concrete powder, white concrete powder, grey concrete powder and some cyan terracotta in there as well, and some smooth stone. I'm going to keep that because I'm going to be building with that. And I've got this as well that I'm going to give to the community. So we've got a few shulker boxes we need to fill up now in order to give those things all away. And then I feel like I've done a good job and I've finally paid back all of the debts I've owed from pinching stuff from the community storage area without ever paying it back. And here we go. These are the last few blocks which I'm going to be putting in these chests. These chests have got no signs on or anything like that, and I couldn't find anywhere to put my concrete. So there we go. We've now got the concrete in those chests as well. So I've given everything away except my building blocks. All of my shulker boxes are empty except for my bits that I've hidden in there while I was filling my inventory, and that's it. I feel like I've done a very, very good job. So let's fly back over to the mob farm. And let's just check what's been going on since I've been doing all that. See if we've got many more flowers. And see if Big Chicken has got us many more witch drops. Well, the bone wheel from there has completely run out. The flowers are still coming through though. But yeah, I'm going to suggest, considering that thing's going backwards and forwards. Yeah, we're completely out of bone meal in here now. And it looks like things are still growing though. So I'm going to turn it off. And let's just check quickly the mob farm as well. Let's see how that's been doing while I've been doing that. It looks, yeah, double chest nearly full again. We've got so much gunpowder now. I really ought to be giving that to the community as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a shulker box worth of gunpowder. And I'm going to give that to the community. And there we go. I've topped up our flower farm with the bone meal from our bone box over here. That's empty now. We've got our lilies of the valley. Let's go and turn that into white concrete from our bit fiddler. Here we go, Mr. Bit Fiddler. I would like many, many white concrete powder, please. Thank you very much. And I've now got a brand new auto-click button on my mouse that allows me to just hold that down and go crazy getting as many of those as possible. Oh, and it's turned all my shulker boxes white as well. Got to be careful of that. I keep wasting dyes on dyeing shulker boxes. And the last few here, let's just turn those into white dye. Let's get our Bit Fiddler back again. Come on, give me those last few bits of white concrete, please. Don't fail me now, Bit Fiddler. There we go, look at that. Amazing! Another stack and a quarter of white concrete powder there, and we're now up to 125 levels. This time I didn't take my mending stuff off though, so we technically would have had more if we'd have took that off, but it doesn't matter. I don't need all these levels at all. It's just crazy that we can get that many. So now let's go and look at our white concrete supply. And if you're wondering why I'm going to be using these building materials, it's because I've decided that I don't like what I've done with this house. Let's just pop those in there quickly, like so. I've just put those shulker boxes in there as well, which I didn't want to do. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to start afresh and I want to start modern. So I've got myself a load of the white concrete. We've got some cyan terracotta. We've got some grey dye we've got some black concrete, and we've got a little bit of smooth stone as well, which is just going to help us bring this to a more modern look, I feel. But not in today's episode. I think we've probably just about done enough for today, apart from one thing, which is to go back to our trading villagers and grab ourselves another mob spawner. If we've got the goods and the wares to do it, let's see if we have. So in our ender chest, we have our mob drop box, which has not got anything of a great... Oh. So in our ender chest, we've got a mob drop box, which has got gas tiers in there. And in our light blue shulker box, we have got some wither skeleton skulls. So let's take those a second, and let's take those gas tiers. I think we're going to need some other bits and bobs as well. But let me see if I can recap and refresh my memory on what we need. We're going to need a dragon egg, I believe, which is going to be 8 end crystals and 8 diamonds. We might be a bit short on diamonds. We're also going to need, if I can find my leveled up weaponsmith, or is it the toolsmith? I can never remember. This guy, I think. We're going to need a mob spawner cage, which is, yes, we're going to need 2 dragon eggs. So we're going to need 16 gas tiers and, yeah, 8 wither skeleton skulls, which we can do. So let's do this. And here I am swooping down back here with an inventory full of rotten flesh. No escaping. No escaping. I see you looking to try to escape there. Get out of the way. No escaping. Right, cleric. Where's my master level cleric gone? Which one are you? Where's he gone? Is it you in the corner here? Yes, there it is. Give me many, many emeralds, please. 6. Okay, well that's fine. That's giving us 1 extra one of those. If we got another cleric that I can borrow. You. Anyone else? Any more clerics? Any more clerics hiding out in here? I don't think we have we? Okay. Right, well, what about a couple more of those then, please? Excellent. We now got enough ender pearls and a whole load of rotten flesh in our inventory. So let's get this back. Let's get this show back on the road, is what I was going to say. Has he got enough? Can we buy one? We can't. He's run out. You need to restock, sir. You need to restock. Oh, man, I can't believe we can't do that. Okay, well, in that case, we can still buy our spawner cage from this dude here. So let's grab that. And we're still going to need, actually, a spawn egg as well from... Where's the farmer? Where's the good farmer? There's so many of these guys. This one. Ah, see, this guy here, I bought that witch egg from him a long time ago, and he's not restocked. So these villages are clearly broken and not restocking, which is why our cleric one doesn't have any more spawners. So I think we're going to be really stuck trying to get that back from them, which is a bit of a problem. And something that I'm going to try and sort out off camera, maybe moving villagers around and moving workstations and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll try and get that sorted out so that we can get another spawner setup in the next video. But right now, I'm going to pack up my things. I'm going to put them back in my box. And I'm going to say, as usual, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do please leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!